All right. So let me revise quickly that the topic under discussion is external factors that influence business activity, right? And we have discussed various external factors. We are in the process of discussing various external factors. We discussed technology as an external factor and its impact on business, right? We have discussed technology. Then, in the previous class, we were talking about government and how government as an external factor influences business activity or activities, right? Then there are social influences as well, right? We yet to cover that as well. Then we have environmental issues and pressure groups. So basically, in this chapter, we will be covering. Fazan Ali, please mute your mic. Thank you. So we will be covering. Fazan, there is a lot of noise from your side coming in. Please keep your mic muted. All right. Um, okay. So there are basically four external factors we'll discuss in this chapter: technology, government, social influences, and environmental issues and pressure groups. Okay. So getting back to the topic we were covering, that was about the government as an external factor. Okay. So we talked about that government passes laws to restrict business activities. So we talked about that the one of the law or the section is laws and employment practices. The government makes laws in to protect people who are in employment. So it can help the owner as well and the employee as well. Okay. So in that we talked about, okay, so in employment practices we did talk about yesterday employment contracts, recruitment and termination. So there are laws involved that you have to have a certain procedure to do it so that no discrimination may take place. Okay, workers should not be exploited. We have already covered that. Okay, then we talked about minimum wage law as well. This is again related to employment practices. We discussed that as well. Then we talked about health and safety at work. Okay, we talked about trade union as well. Okay, and now we are going to discuss when government makes laws, especially with respect to employment practices, see, which we covered in the last class, what would be the impact on businesses? Although we have discussed that in the previous class, but today we'll discuss in detail, and I might be asking you people to explain me the points. So let me show you that slide. There we go. All right. So now you can see the impact on business of legal constraints on employment and health and safety. So we have studied two types of laws. One which actually gives protection to employees, and one which provides protection in the form of health to employees. Okay, and even the where they workplace should not be life threatening as well. Okay, let's talk about it. How it is going to have an impact on business. And I'm telling you, this is the most crucial part. In your exams, they won't ask you about different government laws. No. And you do not need to remember those even. But you need to know the impact of those laws on a particular business which will be mentioned in the case study. So that is why this is the most crucial part of this chapter as far as laws related to employment practices are concerned. Let's see. The first is supervisory costs regarding a firm's recruitment, selection, and promotion procedure. Now, what is supervisory cost? Anybody? Okay, let me ask you if you know about it or not. Anusha Azhar, can you comment on that? Do you know what is a supervisory cost? Anusha?
Can I?
Anusha Azhar?
Sir, can I?
Yes, okay, go ahead.
The supervisory cost refers to a cost spent on in the given to the supervisor who are supervising the firm's recruitment, selection, and promotion procedure, the interviewers who are sitting there, and all the team which is required for the process to be carried out.
Good, Jahara, but okay, again, why there will be supervisory cost if government laws are imposed? That is my question. You are fine as far as supervisory cost is concerned.
Why there would be?
Yeah, why supervisory
Uh,
cost is linked with government laws?
the supervisory cost is linked with government laws because recruitment is the government law which a company needs to carry out, and therefore, for carrying out recruitment, supervisory cost is needed, is essential. Therefore,
Okay, all right. Let me explain you that as
gotcha.
well. Actually,
Yes, sir.
you can see that in the slide supervisory costs regarding a firm's recruitment, selection, and promotion procedure. So I told you earlier that there are certain laws who actually require a fair procedure of recruitment. You cannot simply hire your close relatives or your friends. So in order to be that procedure to be transparent, laws are there. So for that, you require people who can closely have a look on that procedure so that it looks transparent. And later on, it should not be against government laws. Secondly, if you are going to promote an employee, again, it should not be on the basis of your personal likings or dislikings. It should be on the basis of the performance of the employee, the ability of the employee. So it should be fair as well. So it means that if you are going to promote employee on fair basis, then you require supervisors who will be closely watching all employees, and then they will recommend which employees can be promoted who deserve the higher level post. So that is why, because now you cannot pick anybody to be promoted to a higher rank, because there are certain laws which protect it. So that's why you need, and in order to be that in order for that process to be transparent, you require supervisors. So it will increase the cost of the business, and obviously it will reduce the amount of profit the business earns as well. Okay, all right. Next is higher wage cost. Now, because we have
एक्सक्यूज
studied,
मी सर।
yes, Junaid,
सर ये मुझे इसका कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर नहीं हो रहा सुपरवाइजरी कोर्स का, तो सर एक बार जरा दोबारा रिकैप दे दें।
आपको बता देता हूँ. Supervisors are those people who actually watch the whole process. Either it is a recruitment process or it is a promotion process very closely. They watch it very closely and they are experts in that. So, why you want supervisors? So that the process should be extremely transparent. Because if it is not transparent और वो मालाफाइड है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि आप अपने दोस्तों या रिश्तेदारों को प्रमोट करना चाह रहे हैं, तो देर इज अ प्रॉब्लम, because there are certain laws which require the procedure to be transparent. So, in that way, that procedure may become illegal. Somebody can file a case in the court as well that there is not a transparent procedure going on as far as promotions of employees are concerned or the recruitment of employees are concerned. So, that is why when you will hire officials, expert people who can maneuver that process, obviously your cost is going to increase. Junaid, got the point?
जी सर, आ गई समझ, थैंक यू
All right.
सर।
Now, higher wage cost. Rabia, why there will be higher wage cost if government laws are imposed? Because we have studied two types of laws. One which protects employees when it comes to recruitment or termination of employees or the contract of employment. And the other is which protects the health and safety of the workers. So, how do you develop this, Rabia?
Sorry, sir, can you please repeat the question?
The point is right in front of you, higher wage cost. How government laws may increase wage cost for the business. Yes, Rabia?
पता नहीं सर, मैं भी आई हूँ।
All right. Sabah Rashid.
सर मुझे भी नहीं पता.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Shahir Amir.
सर हायर वेज कॉस्ट एवरेज कॉस्ट से लिंक्ड होगी कि एक सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ कॉस्ट होनी चाहिए लेबर्स की.
Okay, all right. Okay, yes, you might not be using the right term, but you are absolutely right. This is about
Higher
minimum
minimum
wage, minimum wage
higher
law.
minimum.
Yes, we did discuss that right there. You can see that we discussed it. This is minimum wage law, right? So minimum wage law definitely increases the wage cost, because if government announces that you cannot pay wage less than that, then you have to pay all employees that minimum wage. And maybe earlier you were paying them a lower wage rate. Now you are forced to do it to pay them higher wage. It will increase your cost. And if there are plenty of workers working in your organization, it will be a significant part of your total cost. Then there'll be a problem. Obviously, in terms of profit and all that, you know that cash flow problem, and because you are um, good in developing these such points, because I'm checking your answers as well. Okay, higher costs for providing benefits to employees. Now again, because the laws, they protect the rights of the workers, so they require the organization to have workers welfare fund or provident fund or pension fund. You know that pension fund is when an employee gets retired, a certain amount is given to the employee on monthly basis from that fund, pension fund. And then pension fund is, what is that? Maybe a certain amount is deducted from the employee salary and certain amount is contributed by the organization or by the employer, right? And then from that fund, monthly amount is given to the employee after the retirement. Whereas if I talk about provident fund, it is basically a lump sum amount which is given at the age of retirement. As soon as an employee gets retired, you give that amount, the total amount, to the employee together. So again, the employees, they can do whatever they want. I know when I was in Beacon House school system, so there was an old teacher, and he used to come on motorbike. I know that Kawasaki. I remember that. Okay, and he actually taught there for many years, and then finally, when he reached 60, he got retired. And because there was a pension fund there in Beacon House school system, so he was given a huge amount because he had been working over there for, I can 25 years or maybe more than that. So what he did later on, Beacon House school system hired the same teacher. He was a chemistry teacher, hired the same chemistry teacher on contract basis. So he was not a permanent teacher. Okay, O level teacher, right? Okay, what he did actually, so he used to come to school the whole life on motorbike. Then he bought two cars. Okay, and he hired a driver as well. So he used to come on the car with a driver as well, and one car was parked there in his house, which was available for his family. So you can imagine what amount of benefit employees can get with that sort of funds, provident fund, right? In the same way, there is social security fund as well, like there are other benefits like medical benefits if an employee gets ill and employee needs to be treated in a certain hospital. For example, it's a private hospital, you know that they charge too much. So maybe for an ordinary employer, it's not possible to pay that amount. So there are certain hospitals which are on the panel of that organization. So organization pays for the employee, I'm telling you. So again, it is a huge relief for the employee when employee is unwell. For example, a major disease, life-threatening disease, for example, cancer, hepatitis, or maybe some other disease. So maybe up to 5 lakh or 10 lakh can be paid by the organization. I can relate it with my own brother as well. My brother lives in UK and he was having a very strange kind of a disease related to heart. And then he was admitted to a private hospital in London over there. And you know that London is too expensive. So actually, do you know how much was spent there? It was actually round about 1 crore. Okay, and not a single penny was paid by my brother. Because he was a banker at that time, and then the bank actually paid the whole amount, that 1 crore, to the hospital. So again, you can imagine. So it means obviously it is going to increase the, it is in the benefit of the employees, but it is going to increase the benefit, the cost of the business to a very great extent. So again, if it is protected by law, you can't do anything. You have to pay that to the employees. Okay, then we have employing more staff if existing workers have already worked for maximum working hours. Again, I explained that earlier. So I want somebody else to explain that. Abiha. Abiha, Fatma.
जी
Can you
सर
explain can you explain this point? Employing more staff if existing workers have already worked for maximum working hours. How it is a disadvantage for a business?
सर जाहिर सी बात है स्टाफ को फिर सैलरीज वगैरह भी तो देनी पड़ेंगी ना मतलब वर्किंग आवर्स से ज़्यादा करने के लिए
Absolutely, it means that law protects that you cannot force a worker to work for more than normal working hours, which is normally 8 hours in a day. If worker does not want to work for more than normal working hours, you can't force that worker. It means then you have to hire more workers. So it means more pay will be, more amount needs to be paid in the form of wages. So again, it will increase the cost of the business significantly. Okay. Then expensive to provide clothing and equipment to meet safety laws again, because there are health and safety laws. So if
Sir?
there are, yeah, please.
Sir, bonuses given when those employees work overtime, does that count?
Okay, actually, bonuses are overtime. For example, listen, in Pakistan, nobody cares about it, but if you work overtime, you are given extra pay. We won't call it bonus. Bonus is something else. Bonus is when at the end of the year, because business progressed very well and the profits increased to a desired level, so they announce a certain amount and they distribute as bonus, and they distribute that amount to all the employees because of that good performance. Whereas when you get an extra payment, we call it overtime payment because you work for more than normal working hours. Got it? That is also in the benefit of the employees. Okay, then we have expensive to provide. So I told you that if machines are very dangerous, there are some open parts, and employees, when they pass, so they get quite close to those open parts of the machine, and injury can be caused. So then you need to provide, like for example, loose clothes should not be there. There should be a proper uniform so that no loose clothes should be worn by any of the employee. Otherwise, they'll get caught in that machine. So similarly, if there are some dangerous chemicals there, so you need to provide with good quality. Or if you are maybe dealing with electricity, like for example welding, and or maybe there is a lot of spark there, so maybe proper goggles should be provided to you as well at the same time. So it involves cost. Again, you know how to develop that. Higher costs from giving paid holidays. So you know about that. What are paid holidays? Gufran, can you explain what are paid holidays?
सर
Gufran.
जिसमें सर पेड हॉलीडेज फॉर एग्जांपल सर एक कोई मतलब प्रेग्नेंट है सर और वो काम नहीं कर सकती तो वो छुट्टी भी करेगी और उसे पैसे भी मिलेंगे मतलब
Okay,
पे मिलेगी
all right, all right. Okay, a good example. So it means if you are not working, still maybe normally what happens that a month is given in 12 in a year, that you can take days off, but pay will be given to you. So it can be for any reason. Either it is, but there are many different kinds of holidays, paid holidays. One, um, medical leave, because you are not well, again they are paid. Or maybe pregnancy leaves, yes, as Gufran said, again they are paid holidays for females. Similarly, there are annual leaves that you have not taken any day off, so at the end of the year you can take a 1 month off or 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off because this is your right to do it. So again, it means when holidays are paid and workers are not there working, still business has to hire somebody to compensate that. So it means business has to pay more amount. One to the employer, sorry, to the employee they have hired in place of that person who has gone for holidays, and you have to pay that person as well who is enjoying holidays. That is what we call paid holidays. So obviously the cost will increase. And again, that is protected by law as well. You have to give paid holidays to the employees. Okay, then now, so we have talked about the negative outcomes of the laws. Now we'll talk about the positive impact on businesses of such laws, which are related to employment practices and health and safety. One is motivated workforce. Workers will be motivated. Bisma, can you explain that? How workers will be motivated if these laws are imposed? Bisma.
सर जब उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं फेस होगी अपना काम करते हुए तो फिर वो मोटिवेटेड तो अपने आप ही हो जाएंगे ना.
Okay, all right. Problem in what sense? Can you explain that? What problem?
सर के साथ सेफ्टी और हेल्थ इश्यूज आपने पहले भी हमें बताया था कि अगर सही इक्विपमेंट और उनके लिए सेफ्टी मेजर्स ना लिए जाएं तो फिर डेंजर हो सकते हैं ना उनके लिए.
Okay, all right, very good, very good. Thank you very much. And but do not use general words, even writing your answer. If you write big problem, huge difficulty, unless and until you explain that, you won't get marks for that. But you explain it very well. Thank you very much. So basically, why workers will be motivated? Because now they feel they are safe at the workplace. There is no danger involved. Think about doctors who are right now working in hospitals. There was a lot of hue and cry earlier that proper equipment or clothing was not being provided to doctors, and that's why there were lots of doctors who were getting infected, and there were many doctors who died as well. Now it looks that now uh, the doctor now they are given the protective measures, the protective clothing. So now they feel that now they are safe at the workplace. So obviously they will be motivated to work. Same is the case with other staff, other workers as well who work in factories. So because when they feel that they do not have any life-threatening issue there at the workplace, so they can focus on their work and they won't look for any danger coming towards them. So in that way, productivity will increase, average cost will go down, and your profits will increase. Okay. Healthy workforce increases productivity. Again, I can explain that it's very easy. If, for example, your workplace is not clean, it's not tidy, right? What happens every now and then you find many workers getting ill. They maybe get fever or maybe some for example, breathing difficulty or breathing disease. So what happens? They start taking days off, and there might be too many workers who might be taking days off on a given day. So obviously your production process will halt over there. So productivity cannot increase in that way. So if all workers, if you they are there in the factory and the factory is working at its full strength because all workers are present every day. So it means that and workers because they are healthy as well. Okay, two things. One, they are not taking days off. Secondly, it is related with production. Second is that even if they are there, they are not working to their potential. Why? Because they are ill. Okay. So if when they won't be ill, so they will be focusing on their work. They will work to their potential because now they are physically fit. So it will increase the productivity level, and you won't be requiring any new workers to meet your targets, resulting in lower cost and higher profit as well. And you will be able to meet the demands as well timely, resulting in better image in the market as well and greater customer satisfaction. They will become loyal to you. Then we have another advantage. Expensive court cases and medical treatment of workers can be avoided if an accident occurs. I think this point is self-explanatory and I do not need to explain that because I did explain that in the last class. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, next is safer and conducive working conditions may attract effective workers. So it's not about that your existing workers will be having good health and their productivity will increase. It's about new workers as well. Good and experienced workers would like to work in your organization because you will be considered as an employee caring organization. So it will be easier to attract good workers. who are able to meet targets of the organization. Okay, then we have better image among consumers. Again, because every time, because you know that sometimes, for example, you are running a retail shop, and the most critical part is dealing with clients or customers. And who deals with clients? Your sales staff. So if they are not healthy, they are not physically fit, obviously they might not be able to deal with customers in a great way, in a polite way. So obviously customers will be annoyed, but once they are physically fit and they'll be able to answer every single query of the customer, so obviously customers will be happy and they will like to come again and again. And sometimes customers they demand a certain sales staff to be there. वो कहते हैं जी वो आपका सेल्स का पर्सन बहुत अच्छा जी उसी को बुलाएं जी हम उन्हीं से बात करेंगे. So it obviously will spread a very good of mouth and more customers or consumers will come in, resulting in higher sales as well. Okay. But it won't apply to a factory. So remember, if there's a case study which is about a manufacturing business, so consumers do not visit factories. So if you write this point the way I explained, it will be wrong because the link is not there with the context because it's a secondary business. So the link I am making that is with a in case of a tertiary business, a selling business where consumers the place which consumers visit on daily basis or regular basis. All right, let's move on now to the other part. Now we have covered
सर जरा एक मिनट पीछे वाली स्लाइड करना.
this one.
नहीं सर वो जो आपने इसके बात की थी.
Just a minute. Yeah, this one, na?
जी सर ये वाली. ठीक है सर, थैंक यू.
All right. So if some people are making notes as well, it's very good. Why? Because the examples are I am giving you, and the way I'm explaining you, you might not be getting it in the book or in the notes as well. Because notes provide you hints as well. I have written something in bracket as well, but you will because there will be any. I am telling you that it has not been observed even a single time that a case study is repeated. Every time there is a new case study which is given in the paper. So remember, you have to come up with your own answer by looking at the case study. So that is why I want you to explain on your own. All right, so let's move on. So now we have, let me, okay, right now maybe you can't see it. It may come in a, can you see? Yeah, all right. Now, so we have covered what? The impact on business, right? On businesses regarding the laws which are related to employment practices, right? Now we'll talk about this is employment laws and employment practices. So we talked about employment contract, recruitment, termination, minimum wage law, health and safety, trade union. Now we'll talk about other types of laws and they are related with consumers. Earlier we talked about the laws which are related to employees. Now they are related to consumers. Laws and consumer protection, as the name suggests, that these laws protect the rights of consumers. So let's discuss first why consumers need to be protected. Right? Now, so there are many reasons. One is influential advertising. Do you know what is it? Anybody who can explain that? Zainab Hamid? Ji, please.
Sir, individual consumers are relatively weak and powerless against a large business with large marketing and promotion budgets. So it is not easy for consumers to make good decisions when the power of advertising can be so influential.
No, that's right. That's right. But the thing is, that is the next point. This is influential advertising. That is, I want you to explain.
Sir, it's where
Sorry?
it's where you attract the customers, the influential one. It's like you hire a model or someone and you put it in the ad, and the consumers see that this sort of model is using it. So
All
should
right. Okay. Fine. Very good. It means influential advertising means that you show advertisements in a very attractive way. Okay, and people like to buy that product because of that influence. They might not require that, but because of the advertisement, because it was designed in such an attractive way or shown in an attractive way, that now people like to buy it. For example, influential advertising could be that, for example, you hired a model who is very fair in complexion, right? And that model is in the ad of a beauty cream or maybe a beauty soap. And now you are showing that maybe if you use this product, your complexion will be fair like that model. So now obviously it is not going to happen, but because the advertisement was designed in such an attractive way that people would be forced to buy it unconsciously. And then eventually they realize that maybe it's not working. Our complexion, their complexion might improve, but might be a bit only. So obviously, if you hire Katrina Kaif in a beauty soap, so every single girl might be looking at her that okay, can our complexion be like her? So obviously, this is influential advertising. So it means that consumers need to be protected because they are not aware of it, that whether they can get the same benefit which is being shown on TV or on the commercial or on the advertisement on maybe any other media, social media, print media, electronic media. Okay, then we have another issue why consumer needs to be protected, and that is consumers being weak, powerless against large companies. Even if you have a problem, you buy something and you realize this is not the product I like to buy. So now there is a problem. You go to return it, and it's a huge company, for example, and they do not listen to you at all. They say, all right, now you have bought it, you have no way out. You have to take it anyway, and we are not going to return the money unless and until they claim that there is a money back guarantee. If there is no money back guarantee and you bought it accidentally or maybe after watching the advertisement, and now you realize that maybe this is not the right product for you, again there is a problem. One single consumer cannot do anything now, but still one single consumer is now getting powerful as well with the help of social media. They can upload their videos as well. So that is why I'm telling you that the business owners, they are now terrified because of that, because you can go live on Facebook or YouTube, and then you can show that what is happening around there. So but still single consumer, and you know that what is happening these days, all larger companies, they are now coming up with their own TV channels just to avoid that. Think about GoTme. Why do they have their own channel? It's not only about making money, I'm telling you. It's about whatever they are doing, because there were many rumors there. I don't know whether it is true or not, but yes, rumors there that the quality of the gourmet food has gone down. And now they know that maybe it will be there in the news as well, as a breaking news, or obviously it is going to affect our image. So they have come up with their own channel, and now they can threaten anybody. Okay, if you name our business, we will actually show your name on our TV channel, and obviously we will defame you. So I'm telling you that is why, and they hire very powerful anchors. I'm telling you, and those powerful anchors, they get huge salaries. Why? Because they are there to what? To make other people scared of that particular business. So all channels, they are there, but they are having their own businesses running as well, other than TV channels. I'm telling you. And TV channels, why they are there? It's not only to get famous. It's not only to make money. One of the major purpose is so that you can blackmail other people. I'm telling you. So this is actually a fact. So still in that case, consumers will be weak and powerful. They can show on their TV channel that consumer was actually fake. The consumer was at the fault. It was not our fault at all. So if you see on TV channel, doesn't matter who owns it, so you might be believing it. Simple as that. So that is one of the reasons. That's why laws need to be there. Then we have more scientific and technological products. again. Can anybody contribute to that? Samar Raza Gondal. Can you explain that point? More scientific and technological products. Samar, please speak up. So Samar is not speaking up. And Samar, you are not giving me your assignments as well. Tuba Nasir. Come on, Tuba. Tuba? Yes.
जी सर
जी बताइए. More scientific and technological products. How it is linked with those laws which are there to protect consumers?
सर ये जो मोर साइंटिफिक टेक्नोलॉजिकल प्रोडक्ट्स होंगे ये कंज्यूमर के लिए समझना मुश्किल होंगे ना तो
Can you
इनको अवेयरनेस देनी चाहिए इसके बारे में
all right, awareness. But laws are not there to give awareness to consumers. They do not explain products. Remember that.
तो सर वो इंफॉर्मेशनल एडवर्टाइजिंग होती है ना जिसके थ्रू समझाया जाता है
That's right. But this is done by government. But we are talking about government laws only. How it is linked with government laws? Any idea?
नो सर
Okay, Yashfa Noor. Come on, Yashfa.
सर जो प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं अब टेक्नोलॉजी काफ़ी एडवांस होती है तो कंज्यूमर्स के लिए मुश्किल होता होगा कि मशीन्स वगैरह को ऑपरेट करना और एक्सेस वगैरह करना शायद
Okay, all right. That's right. Okay, fine. You are right. But maybe an example. Yeah, please, Talal.
इसमें
Yes, Talal.
वो प्राइवेसी कंसर्न्स आ सकती हैं
Privacy concerns. No, it's not about privacy. Actually, listen, I'll give you an example. For example, you are there to buy a car. You go to buy a car and they claim that this is 2000, the engine is of 2500 cc. Now, if you see, open the bonnet, can you actually, after looking at the engine or having a look, can you claim that yes, it is 2500 cc engine? Obviously not. This is
सर
just
उसके
not
ऊपर लिखा होता है वैसे इंजन के ऊपर उसकी
लिखा होता है ना. तो लिखे होने से क्या होता
सर
है?
बिकॉज कंज्यूमर्स को इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं होती है यूजुअली तो फ्रॉड और हैक होने का रिस्क होता है
Yeah, okay, that's right. I'll give you another example. For example, you buy a sweater or you buy a shirt and they claim it is 100% cotton. Although it's written there, a tag is attached with that 100% cotton. But by looking at the shirt, if you touch the fabric of the shirt, can you say or can you believe that yes, it is 100% cotton? We do not have such knowledge. The product is technical enough. शायद उसमें कुछ polyester भी डाला हो. Maybe it is 80% cotton or 70% cotton. So it's not that easy. Only those people who deal in those clothes, they can actually tell you by touching the fabric. Otherwise, an ordinary person cannot do so. Similarly, if I talk about cell phones, if they say that the camera is of 20 megapixel, so you can have a click, you can see the picture, yes, it's of good quality, but you cannot exactly say whether it is of 20 megapixel or not. It might be 18 megapixel or 17 megapixel. So why? So that is why, because there are scientific products coming in, there are technological products, and ordinary consumers cannot judge the quality in that way because they are so technical. So obviously, laws are there to protect them. That if, for example, they buy something and the shopkeeper does not tell them or does not give them every possible information about the product or gives them wrong information, so they are protected with the help of that law. They can file a case in the court against that business. Same is the case with unable
Sir,
to judge the. Yeah.
sir, protection against false claims.
Protection against. Yes, yeah, that's right. Absolutely right. So if there are false claims there, so obviously this law, consumer protection law, provides protection to consumers. Okay, so I have covered both of them, scientific and technological, which I gave the example of a car and cell phones, and shirt comes under that fourth point, that is unable to judge the quality of the product. Although the shirt is not very technical or technological, but still you might not be able to judge the quality. That's why you need to be protected. Okay, now we need to see what are those consumer protection laws. Again, you are not there to memorize those laws, but if it is mentioned in the case study, you might be needing some explanation. All right, let's have a look. Law and consumer rights. First is Sale of Goods Act. Sale of Goods Act say that the product you are selling or the product you are buying must be fit to sell. Now, what does it mean actually, fit to sell? If you are buying a car and maybe if the body of the car is damaged and the car showroom owner, and it is very common, I am telling you, all car showroom owners, they hide certain information of the cars which goes against them. I think everybody knows about it. So I'm not actually, maybe some of your relative is in the business of cars, so I'm not hitting that person at all. There might be some fair people as well, but majority of the people who are in the business of selling cars, especially used cars, they do not give every single information to the consumer, especially, and they actually buy damaged cars, they get it repaired, and they actually present it in front of the consumers in such a way that it's just like a new car. So it happens. So it means if, for example, your car is half damaged, so it is not fit for the fit to sell. You cannot
सर आपकी आवाज बड़ी कट रही है
sell a damaged car to a person. So this is one way. If you are not able to listen to anything, so my recorded lessons are there on my YouTube channel. So that is a huge benefit for you, that you can visit my channel as well. Junaid, is it fine now? आवाज सही आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
जी सर अब आ रही है
सही
सर
है सर
मतलब पिछले वाला
All
जरा
right.
दोबारा रिपीट कर दें आपकी
All
आवाज
right.
नहीं आ रही थी
I'm saying these laws protect consumers in a way that the product which is sold must be fit to sell. If they are selling car, it must not be damaged. If the engine, there is a problem in the engine, they need to tell it to the customer. If why? Because if the car is not fit to sell and you cannot run your car at a great speed, for example, or maybe you every now and then you have to take the car to the workshop, there is a problem because it is not fit to sell. So again, protection is provided by the law to the consumers. Second point is suitable for the purpose. It means, for example, you are going to take part in a race competition, and for that you want to buy a sports car. And instead of giving you, for example, Lamborghini, they give you, for example, Hummer. Now, Hummer might be expensive than Lamborghini or maybe equal to that. But problem is, and it, what is the problem? What is the issue? Issue is that is a luxurious car. It's not for that purpose. And if you buy that, although it's a luxurious car, and you can enjoy the ambience of that car when you get inside the car, the problem is you cannot take part in the race competition using that car. So it means that the item is not suitable for the purpose. Because whenever you go to buy something, you sometimes mention the purpose. If there is a shopkeeper, either you buy it yourself or you ask the shopkeeper to provide it to you. For example, you go to buy a hair shampoo and you want to buy anti-dandruff hair shampoo, and they provide you silk black shine, sun silk black shine. There's a problem. Why? Because it may give your hair shiny touch, but the problem is it won't remove your dandruff or dandruff from your hair. So it means the product might be fit to sell, but it does not meet the purpose of the consumer. So again, consumers are protected by law. They can claim that if it comes under this category, they can actually claim that in the court as well. Then third is perform in the way described. So whatever you are explaining, you know that now these days, if you are showing that by using a hair shampoo, 100% you will be free from your hair will be dandruff free 100%. So again, it is not possible. Or you can say, yes, if you use our shampoo, so there will be less hair fall. It looks like a realistic claim. But if you say there will be no hair fall at all, it is wrong, because you know that it is bound to happen. It is a natural process. So it means that if you say something, this is a misleading claim. You are misguiding a consumer, and the product will not be performing in the way you are describing it. So you are actually deceiving the person. Na? So that is why I'll give you an example. You know that earlier there was actually a very famous ice cream named Polka. Anybody heard about that brand, Polka ice cream? Do you know about it? Aniza?
सर वो जिसका ब्लू और
Anybody?
व्हाइट होता था, ब्लू और व्हाइट लोगो होता था.
Yes, yes. So Polka was there, and I'm telling you that when Walls was launched, so Walls they used to write the word ice cream for all their frozen desserts. Now they do not write it. You will not see the word ice cream on any of the wrappers of Walls frozen desserts. They only write frozen desserts. Why? The reason is because they put up a case in the court, Polka, that the product they are selling, it's not an ice cream, because the ingredients which are required to form an ice cream, they are not there, because the main ingredients which are used in the ice cream are, you know, that milk, butter, and cream. If they are not there, it means you cannot call that product an ice cream. So they won that case. I'm telling you, Polka won that case, but later on Walls took over Polka. So now there is no Polka at all, because now it is the part of Walls. But now Walls cannot use that word ice cream. You see Cornetto, Feast, or any other brand, so you won't find that word there. Same is the case with Omor ice cream as well. We call it ice cream. It's not an ice cream, and they do not write it because they cannot do it. So if you keep on selling it is an ice cream, so people start thinking, okay, it means it must be made up with butter, milk, and cream. If it is not there, so it means that is not performing in the way described. That much amount of calories, energy, or taste which you want. Okay, all right. So again, protection is provided to consumers in this regard as well. Then there's a Trade Description Act as well, that misleading description should not be there. For example, if you are mentioning or quoting the price of the product, you have to say whether it is exclusive of tax or inclusive of tax. I'm just giving an example. If you don't say anything, and for example, the price you quote is, for example, 1500 rupees for example, for a buffet. So what happens that you go there and finally you have your lunch there or dinner or high tea, whatever, and then you pay 1500 rupees, and they say on the spot, sir or madam, you have to pay 2000 rupees because 500 is the tax. So it means that that was a misleading description with regard to price. You have mentioned that it's exclusive of tax. So again, they can't do so, and you have a right to pay 1500 there if they are doing it that way without showing tax. Otherwise, they actually write tax in a very small format, or sometimes it is written at the bottom whenever you see commercials. Terms and conditions apply. So this is how it doesn't look like a misleading description, because now the duty of the consumers to report. If you won't write that at the bottom, it can be considered as a misleading description. And okay, then we have consumer protection. So the consumers are, because of that protection, consumers are liable for the damage caused by defective products. Okay, you got, for example, you buy some food, they say it's fresh and it is not fresh, and then you get diarrhea and you are admitted to a hospital. There is a problem. So now you can claim heavy damages in the form of any amount, whatever you think, from that business. Okay, illegal to quote misleading price. I told you earlier as well about it. Okay, so we have covered now the consumer protection laws, right? So now the last slide, and because the time is about to finish, now what would be, again, the thing is, the main
सर 2 मिनट पिछली वाली स्लाइड कर दे, स्क्रीनशॉट लेना था।
ये वाली
नहीं, इससे आगे वाली।
क्या आपको आ रही है स्लाइड? है ये वाली, this one you're talking about? Hello?
जी जी सर।
Okay. आगे जाऊं?
जी सर, थैंक यू।
All right. So last but not the least, this should be the center of our discussion. I'm telling you. The question will be asked about what would be, again, I have written there. You can see that. What would be the impact on businesses of consumer protection laws? Can you see this? Now you can see what would be the impact on businesses of consumer protection laws. So you have to answer such questions. So let's have a look. Yeah, this is the last slide. Only 2 points are there. Consumer protection laws and businesses. One is rising cost to meet the requirement. So now it means to meet the requirement. For example, if your product is damaged, it means you have to repair it first. Or if it is not fit to sell, you have to throw it in the junkyard because you cannot sell it. The law is there which protects consumers. So obviously it will increase your cost because a lot of products will go in the junkyard because now you cannot sell them. Earlier you were selling them by deceiving customers. Now you can't do it. It will increase. Similarly, I talked about now because Walls is not developing, they are not producing ice cream. So now if they want to produce ice cream, they have to spend more. Milk is expensive, cream is expensive, butter is expensive, right? Okay, similarly, substantial rewards for the business. Now, this is one disadvantage in terms of rising cost, but there is a great advantage as well. If you follow consumer law protection laws, you will have a better image overall. Because sometimes you know that TV channel they show different companies as well. They mention different brands that they are just following consumer protection laws. So you would like to buy from them who follow consumer protection laws because you know that as far as food items are concerned, they are hygienic, they are safe for eating. So in that way, you'll be able to attract more customers, and even you can charge a higher price as well because you can claim because we follow all procedures and we all the laws which are imposed by the government. So that's why our price is on the higher side, and it is justified. People would like to buy from you as well. Okay, all right. So that's enough, and we'll proceed in the next class. So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next class, and those who want to discuss anything, they can still there in the meeting. Thank you.
अल्लाह हाफिज़ सर।
Hafiz.
अल्लाह हाफिज़ सर।
Hafiz.
अल्लाह हाफिज सर।
Hafiz.
सर आप एएस की तैयारी कब करवाएंगे?
Fazan.
जी
Is
सर,
that you?
फैजान। यस
Okay.
सर।
Okay, Fazan. Good question. Actually, हमने problem ये है कि we follow whatever guideline is given by the school, right? I know how much time is required, but thing is, right now they want us to take A2 classes. So I think maybe 2 months will be more than enough if you have already covered AS syllabus. So it won't be that much difficult because we will be doing past papers then. So it means right now July is going on, August, September. So 2 months are there. 1st October is the date of your exam. So I think plenty of time is there. What do you think, Fazan?
सर वो तो ठीक है, मगर आपने क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिसेस नहीं करवाई बिल्कुल भी, तो वो होने वाली हैं जो आप कह रहे हैं पास पेपर्स वगैरह कराने हैं ना, वो क्वेश्चन वगैरह को
Exactly.
आंसर करने की टेक्निक वगैरह वो आपने काफ़ी नहीं कराई हुई,
Exactly.
सिलेबस तो कवर हो जाएगा।
जी मैंने वही करवाना है, तो इसलिए 2 months आर मोर देन एनफ फॉर डूइंग पास्ट पेपर्स. ऑलराइट.
यस सर, ठीक हो गया। थैंक यू सर।
Okay, keep on making effort, Fazan.
यस सर।
All right. So still there are students there, so either they want to discuss something with me